Om Shanti, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all on behalf of BRAHMAKUMARIS Silicon Valley for this webinar today afternoon. I hope everybody is doing very well and staying safe. This is Rajni. I work as a rheumatology physician. I have been associated with BRAHMAKUMARIS Silicon Valley for the last 20 years. And I learn a lot from this meditation, and I experience a lot of peace, strength, and inner calmness. And I always feel a sense of protection with this practice of meditation in whatever I do. So we'll start with our webinar today with a couple of minutes of meditation. So with that determined thought that success is my birthright, our birthright, we will start our webinar today. So to begin with, we'll talk, what does success mean to you? We can check ourselves, what does success mean to me? So if we take the definition, the dictionary definition of the success, it says the definition of success is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. Very simple, right? It's the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. So we feel successful if we achieve our goals, right? So for all of us, for each of us, it's a different thing. For success means and what our goals are different. They could be short-term goals, they could be long-term goals, and sometimes in our life itself, at different phases of our life, we keep different goals. So it's always different for each person. So it could be career for somebody, to graduate from something or to get into a good job. It could be career related, and it could be having a good relationship within the family and at workplace, and overall good relationships. And it could be for some acquiring things like a home or car or gadgets or money. It could be that. And for some, it could be acquiring good virtues, good habits. It could be becoming healthy and getting healthy habits. And it could be spiritual or personal growth. And again, it could be at different times in our life itself. It could be a different goal for us. So it's always important to have our own definition of success for us. Because if we don't define what is my goal, what is that I want to achieve, what in which thing I want to be successful, I have to decide myself. Because if you don't design your life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. So I really like this. We have to think about it a lot, because we can get inspiration from others, we can get ideas, or we can get teachings from others, but we want to have our own definition of success. We want to have our own goals in our lives, to live our own life. We don't want to just compare, or we don't want to just follow somebody else without knowing what we want to do. So very important thing, most important thing is we want to have our own definition of success for us. And to help that, one question we can ask is a simple question: what do I want? So when we ask that question, we get some answers. So you keep asking why for every answer you get from there. And at the end, you can't ask why anymore. And that is the bottom of it. That is what we actually need in our life. So when you spend some time with yourself and check what actually I want, and ask why for every answer after that, until you can't ask why anymore. So that's when we get to the bottom of what do I actually want? How can I achieve it? So that we can do, so we can have our own definition for success for ourselves. And why do we want success? Why do we always strive for that? What does success give us, right? So the belief is success brings us happiness, peace, confidence, self-esteem, to name a few, but it gives a lot to us, the belief is, right? So is it this true? Is it true that success brings us happiness, peace, confidence, self-esteem? Yes, right, to some extent, but is it the other way actually? Happiness brings success, peace brings success. Is it that way? We'll look into that. So before we go more in depth of today's webinar, like we'll go quickly through the ABCs of success. So we all have our own ABCs for success because we have been going through a lot of goals and achieving things in our lives. So to name a few of the ABCs for success, and actually we need to have all of them because we need to put all these ingredients together and then we can achieve the success. So the first thing is setting our goal, aim. So we discussed that it's very important to have our own goal, our own aim for us. And then the second thing is we want to be ourselves, unique. We want to make sure we always feel that each one of us is very unique, authentic. Nobody is superior, nobody is inferior, and everyone is unique. So only when we are truly ourselves, we can work through this process of achieving success very well. And the next B is believe. And it's really time to believe in ourselves because we know that we become what we believe. If we believe that I can do it, I'll definitely do it. But if we believe I cannot do it, and that's what happens. So belief is the first thing we have to have in ourselves. And when we are truly ourselves, then we definitely believe in ourselves and we become what we believe. And we will talk more about it in the later slides, the creative visualization. And the other B is blessing. So our every thought is a blessing for us. So our teacher always teaches this, the importance of thoughts. So if we go to a guru or some elders or some our own elder grandparents at our home, we take their blessings and we feel so good. We have so much faith in that blessing. How many times we take blessing from them? One time. When we go to a guru or a priest or somebody, they bless us one time, like that you will be successful. How many times we repeat it to ourselves? After that, how many times we feel so happy, I got a blessing from them. So they give only one time with very pure intention, with their powerful pure mind they give it. But how many times I repeat the blessing for myself, and that is actually giving us the success from that blessing. So we have to make sure that our every thought is a blessing for us. So when we believe that, when we feel that, then we make our thoughts very good, very pure, elevated. So we'll talk more about it. And the other things are concentration power, as you all know, and persistence, constant and full effort we need to put in, and courage we need, because sometimes we don't achieve right away. So we have to maintain our courage, keep our faith strong, and patience. And always remember, success is my birthright. And determination we need. And then we have to send out the thoughts of what we want into the universe, and will definitely come back to us. And that is the law of attraction. So we will go through some of these in our webinar today, but it's actually all of these things we need to put together to achieve the success. Most importantly, time to believe. We don't want to question ourselves. We don't want to have any doubts on ourselves anymore. And the next thing we want to know is success our destination or journey? If somebody asks us this question, right away we say, yes, it is journey. It's not just destination, it is our journey. But while we are in that process, are we remembering that? Are we keeping our intentions like that, our faith and strength like that, we will see. So real success is the happiness we get when we achieve what we want, or being happy and content while doing the process of achieving that. So we understand that it's actually being happy and content while we are doing the process that is more successful than just being happy when the end result comes, right? So in this, here it is written, we get a thought of something that we want to achieve, we set a goal, we got ideas to put into practice, and we tried. So if it's a little goal, short-term goal, then we can achieve right away. But if it is something long-term goal or a bigger goal or aim, first time we may not get it sometimes. So we do again and again, and we keep doing, and definitely success will be ours. So if we just take care of this end result, that this is giving me happiness, that is not true, right? We have to take all this process with so much stability and determination, because at every step when we are doing it again means that we are doing it again after learning something that went wrong. So we are learning every time. We are not getting it and we are doing again and again means we are learning definitely something new there. Unless we have a challenge, we can't really learn new skills. And necessity is the mother of invention, we all say, right? So unless we get something obstacle or something somewhere, we can't get stronger. So if we remember those things, then we can maintain our determination in this process. We can keep constantly learning in this process and be enthusiastic. We don't want to feel frustrated or upset or lack of self-esteem. We don't want to go to that route. We want to keep learning constantly, keep our enthusiasm and persistence in our practice, and most importantly, maintaining the happiness that I'm learning something, I'm moving forward, I'm getting stronger, and maintaining the stability, contentment, and peace in this process. That is what actually real success is, right? We, in this process, we have to be strong in doing all these things. So that reminds a story of a little boy and a butterfly. Some of you might know that little boy was very much interested in butterflies and how a butterfly comes out. So he gets a caterpillar and he asks his mom to keep it at home. And he takes very good care of that caterpillar, giving whatever it needs. And then the caterpillar, one day, the cocoon formation starts. He was very excited. After a few days, he sees a small opening in that cocoon, and then the little butterfly is trying to come. It's struggling to come outside from that small hole. So this little boy, he was very enthusiastic, very curious to see how the butterfly will come out, and very happy. He wants to see that. So, but he sees that it's struggling. He couldn't see that struggle. He gets a pair of scissors and then he cuts that cocoon opening to a little bigger opening, and then yes, the butterfly comes out. But its body is swollen, wings are very small, and it's not flying. He thought it will learn to fly, but it's not happening. So he goes to his mom and asks why the butterfly is not flying. So then mom tells him that actually the process of opening the cocoon, coming out of that cocoon, it is a struggle for the butterfly. Only through that struggle, the fluid in that belly of the butterfly comes into the wings, and then wings get stronger, and when it comes out of the cocoon, it can fly. But he cut that process short, thinking that it is struggling. He cut that process short, so the fluid never came out of the body into the wings, and all of its life, the butterfly couldn't fly. It's only crawling. So in this case, it's the story of the little boy and butterfly. But we have to check ourselves sometimes when we go through some processes, when we struggle or if we have an obstacle in the process of our education or career, we have to tell ourselves that this is making me more stronger to fly, not to just crawl in the rest of the process. This making me stronger to fly and get bigger success from that. So if we remember that, we can happily go through this process with confidence, because once we achieve success, we achieve, but we don't want to lose all this time spent in the effort making time in frustration or in upset, sad mood. We want to cherish this process of getting success also. So that's what we can remember and keep all these things in our mind. And Albert Einstein says failure is success in progress. So it's not failure, it is a process. Success is in progress, it is a process. So we always remember that and keep our calm and happiness, all those things during the process is what we want to do. So knowing all that, how to stay happy while doing what we want, and how we can successfully go through the process of achieving success. So we have to look into that. And why we have to do that is, life is just not a happening, right? Life just doesn't happen. It's a response to our creation within our mind. So everything that's happening to us is a creation within our own mind. So we better take care of that, right? We have to create very positive, very elevated things all through the process. Then we are getting a good end result. And it's all about enriching ourselves, not just the destination. So how do we do that, and how do we successfully go through this process? So for that, we'll go through our today's topic webinar, Think Wise, Choose Right, and Embrace the Success. So what does it mean to think wise? And we all know all these things, but we have to really remind ourselves and keep in our mind always, how do we go through this process? How do we create thoughts? Thoughts create our reality and destiny. Destiny is not just like written already. Our thoughts create our reality and destiny, and our thoughts create our world, and our thoughts give us the success. Sankalp se siddhi. If some of you know Hindi, this is actually a much better phrase that we can relate to. Sankalp se siddhi. Siddhi is actually much more than just success, attainment, and beyond that. So our thoughts give us the success, and they are the seeds for our actions. Thoughts are the seeds for our actions. So good thoughts will give good fruits, and if we do weak thoughts, then fruits also will be not so nutritious. So good thoughts will give good fruits. So wise thinking means creating thoughts with a higher consciousness level, that is positive, powerful thoughts directed towards our goal. So here in this picture, if we see in this first picture, there are too many thoughts. When we question like why, what, how, things like that, if we are in that mode, we will make a lot of thoughts, and it's all chaotic. But when we are calm, when we have the inner strength, we will make a few thoughts which are very constructive thoughts, and which will give rise to a good idea, good thought to put into practice. So we have to check, is it full of thoughts, mind full of thoughts, or mindful? Are we paying attention to what kind of thoughts we are creating? We have to check. So the next thing comes is awareness. In what awareness we are making those thoughts, we have to check. So making good thoughts, pure thoughts, elevated thoughts is what we said we have to do. So in what awareness I can make those good thoughts? What awareness helps me to make elevated and pure thoughts? So higher consciousness leads to a higher quality of action. As my awareness is so, if my awareness is very elevated, then the quality of action will be very elevated also. So the greatest skill is the art of thinking, and we have to learn that. If we learn that, the process will be very smooth, because thought is the seed. If we know what kind of thoughts we have to make, what kind of seeds we have to sow, then the rest of the process will become easy. So the best thing is to do thoughts in a higher consciousness, awareness, which will give good quality of thoughts, good quality of actions and results. So signs of lower consciousness. These are the signs of lower consciousness: fear, worry, anxiety, stress, doubt, frustration, lack of self-esteem. So when we create thoughts at a lower consciousness level, our thoughts will be based on these qualities. We'll be very fearful of losing something, of not attaining something. We'll be very anxious of not getting something. So these will be the kind of lower consciousness thoughts. And the signs of higher consciousness thoughts are: the first thing is abundance. We feel we are full of all these virtues: abundance, courage, confidence, love, happiness, peace, power, and success. These are all the signs of higher consciousness. So if we make thoughts at this higher consciousness level, keeping these our qualities in our mind, then the thoughts will be very pure, successful, and elevated. So knowing that, we will try to understand what is that higher consciousness we want to understand. So imagine yourself in this hallway here, and in the interest of time, quickly, if you could write the best three that you're seeing there in the chat window, we'll see what we'll write. Imagine yourself here, standing here, and write three best that you see there. Somebody said emptiness, somebody said chandelier, piano, music, light, music. Okay, piano, chair, serene, love, music, color combination. Good. Did anybody write their name? So far, I did not see in the chat. Okay, so nobody, I mean, we are so used to think what is the best things out there. We were looking they are all the best things. Whatever we wrote, the piano, the chandelier, color combination, the pillars and the art pieces, everything is very nice there, very beautiful. But the most beautiful thing is us, the inside, the true self is the most beautiful thing that is seeing all these beautiful things out there. So we have to really tune into our inner beauty so that we can see much more beautiful things out there and achieve much more beautiful things. So seeing our true self that is within our own selves is the most elevated thing, the higher consciousness, we can say. So we'll try to understand that now. So take a few moments, sit comfortably, just for a few moments, think about it. What if you let go of your name for a few moments? What if you let go of the attachment to your name? How would you feel? What if you let go of your gender? What if you let go of your titles? The roles at home, the roles at work, your occupation. What if you let go of your religion? And what if you let go of your nationality? I'm sure we all feel the freedom off of all these labels that we are carrying. We start to experience that inner energy, the peace, the strength inside us that is carrying all these labels and doing all the responsibilities. So this is you, the true self, the point of light, the living energy, the soul. That is the one saying, I am letting go of the attachment to my name, my title, my role, my religion, my nationality. This is me, the true self, the point of light, the living energy, soul. In some languages, you call Ruh, Atma, the living energy, the pure, peaceful, loveful, blissful, powerful, happy, and knowledgeable being. So everything is full, the inner energy, the living energy is full of all these qualities: pure, peace, love, bliss, power, happiness, and knowledge. So this is us, the true self, the beautiful self, seeing all the beautiful things out there in the world. So thinking at a higher consciousness level means creating our thoughts with the awareness of our true self and the true potential. Because only when we know our true self, we know the true potential. Sometimes we hear all the time from our parents, right? If we are writing an exam or doing something, they tell us, they boost us, you don't know your capabilities. You have to think that you know everything, you know actually everything, so you can do it very well. So when we know our potential, we can work towards it and we will work with that potential in our mind. And so now I know that myself, the true self, the soul that is the master of this physical body, has all these powers inside it: the peace, happiness, bliss, power, everything is in me. And I am the master. I am the one that is carrying the roles of the name, gender, titles, and all. So if I create the thoughts coming from that higher consciousness that I am a peaceful being, I can maintain peace at home, at work, I am a powerful being, I can do whatever I want to do at work. So if we start creating the thoughts at that higher consciousness level, knowing the true self, the true potential of the self is the higher consciousness. So during this whole webinar and further, we'll try to make our thoughts only at that higher consciousness level. So the next thing I want to talk about is this law of attraction. You might have heard, some of you, so we'll go into that. So the law of attraction is very simple. Create the thoughts of what you want the reality to be, not the thoughts what the reality of today is. So this is very important, because what happens is, if we take a little example, that let's say I have the habit of getting upset or angry quickly. If I keep saying I want peace, I want peace, if I keep saying that, when I say I want peace, I am telling the universe that I lack in peace. I want peace. I am lacking in that. So that lacking feeling is transmitted into the universe. So whatever we send out to the universe is what comes back to us. So that's why we feel like, even though we are putting effort and saying I want peace, none of us say that I'm okay, I'm happy with my anger, right? We all say we want peace. But when we say we want peace, what we are radiating into the universe is that lacking, that wanting. So that comes back. So when I say that I am a peaceful soul, I am a peaceful being, because I know that I am a peaceful being, right? The soul, the inner energy is peace. Because of some circumstances, the roles and these things could be causing some anger or upset, but inside I am a peaceful being. So when I say that I am a peaceful being, I am radiating into the universe that I am peace. So peaceful energy is being radiated into the universe, and that what comes back. So peace comes back to me. So the more and more I tell myself that I am a peaceful being, I am a peaceful being, that peaceful energy goes out and gets more and more inwards. Also it gets stronger and stronger, reminding ourselves and emerging the true peace which is inside us itself. That starts happening and we feel being peaceful. And you know the importance of mantra and all, right? You might be hearing that. So mantra is some words that are told with so much faith in it. So we have to create the mantra for our own selves, what we want. If I want love, I don't want to say I want love, I want respect. I should say I am a loveful being. I have a lot of self-respect. I respect each and everything in this universe. I respect each and every soul. So the more I radiate those qualities, the more I get back from the universe, and also the more will be emerged from inside me also, because the inside self, the inner self is that peaceful being, happy being, and loveful being. So it's very simple. We have to make sure that we create the thoughts of what the reality to be. That I want to be peaceful, I say that I am peaceful. I want love, I say I am loveful. So we have to create the thoughts of what we want the reality to be, and not the thoughts what the reality of today is. This is very important. And some of you might know, in some faiths, we believe that tadastu. They say our elders, grandparents, they teach us that never say anything wrong word, because there is somebody saying tadastu all the time. Tadastu means let it be, let your that thing come true, wish come true. So we better be careful. Our elders teach that say out only, or create the thoughts only what you want the good in you, or in whatever you want. Only good things, only pure things, elevated things, because we want them to become true. Actually, we are giving that blessing to ourselves. We are saying that let it be manifested. So we have to be very careful of what thoughts we we want to create and radiate. So here in this picture, you see this little girl sitting on the toy horse, but feeling like she's riding the big horse. So that is what is giving her that happiness and that confidence and enthusiasm. So in our lives also, if we feel that I can achieve it, I already visualize myself of achieving my goal, whether it could be graduating or being happy or being peaceful or getting healthier. We achieve that, we visualize that we achieved it, then that gives us so much enthusiasm, so much power from inside and from outside, and it will definitely become true. So we hold our success in the vision we create for the self. And once I heard in a talk, Abraham Lincoln says, the best way to predict the future is to create the future. So prediction, we can do when we create it now. So we have to remember that. So how the law of attraction works, some of us might have questions. Is there a science behind it? What do you think? Yes, right? So there is a science behind it, it's pure science. So one way of looking into it is, let's say I create a thought of being happy and peaceful. This creates happy hormones in me, in my body. My mind creates the thoughts of peace and happiness, and I get happy hormones in my body, like the dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and enkephalins. These are the things that are produced in meditation and when we are in good thoughts and feelings. These hormones, they boost our confidence, they boost our enthusiasm, they increase our productivity, they help us accept things as they are coming and win over them. So that is the science behind having all these pure, elevated, happy feelings, because hormonal changes will happen in the body accordingly. And if we have the thoughts of fear or worry or anxiety, that creates stress hormones, as we all know, and the stress hormones will discharge us very quickly, and they will make us not function at a higher level. We will be getting influenced with the situation, but we can't get over the situation because they are not helpful in boosting our enthusiasm or confidence. So there is a science behind it, but actually it's much more than science, because science only helps to prove some things, as I think we all understand that, and believing that science can help in proving some things, but not everything of the human mind, nature, divine energy interactions. I don't think science can prove that. So it's much more than science, and science is there definitely included in that. So we have to remember always, happiness begets happiness, peace begets peace, love begets love, success begets success. So remembering that, we have to make our thoughts, and definitely we will become successful. So let's experiment quickly. Like, we'll go through this thing. So make sure the awareness is at a higher consciousness level. At a higher consciousness, we said we are filled with happiness, peace, bliss, and power. So we'll take a thought of being happy. So I feel I am a happy being. I create a thought. When I create the thought that I am a happy being, I feel happy. And I'm sure, I think you're seeing a smile on your face, right? The happy feeling starts happening. And when I feel happy, I see everything with that vision. The attitude becomes very different. I can accept my family or any person in the family or at work as they are with that attitude. And I accept them, and then I radiate that happiness in the acceptance and in whatever action I am performing. So the more and more actions I perform in that happy feeling, in that awareness, it becomes my habit. So sometimes that's why we tell, when we see some people, we say, she's such a happy person, such a peaceful person. So it becomes a habit for us, and then it becomes our personality, and that leads to our destiny of being happy. So it begins with our awareness and the thought, and the destiny is definitely going to be happy in there. So always please remember that the awareness leads to thought, which creates a feeling, which makes our attitude, which leads to a good action. It becomes the habit, it becomes our personality, and it becomes our destiny. And we don't want to experiment with any negative thought, right? We can experiment with peace, happiness, bliss, and success in that. So success is not the key to happiness, but happiness is the key to success. If we remember that happiness is the key to success, then we will maintain our happiness and peace and calm, and we'll make right thinking. We'll do wise thinking. So once we thought wisely, we learned about wise thinking is thinking with a higher consciousness level. Then we have to choose right also. Whatever we thought, we have to choose right also. And why we have to choose, how we have to choose also, we have to understand. There's so many people holding the choice here, right? So we all have a choice. We all have a choice at every stage in our life with every thought we make. So we can check a few things in that process. Reaction versus response. So reaction happens when we think at a lower consciousness level of fear, or getting upset quickly, or fear of losing our respect or something like that. That makes a reaction. And a response will be coming from at a higher consciousness level. In our we'll take a small examples only within our day-to-day lives, because choices made at every day-to-day life level will make us stronger to make better choices in everything we do also. If we take in a family also, to have happy family, good relationships, we can check ourselves, reaction is better or response is better. We'll definitely say that reaction can break any relationship, right? Because if somebody is upset, if we also react right away, like, how can she say that to me? If I feel that my respect is taken away, or something is taken away from me, then if we react, then it can break the relationships, or it will make the relationships fragile. But if we respond in that situation, that accepting that, so whatever is the reason that the other person is behaving like that, let me keep my calm and peace right now, later we'll think about the situation and discuss about it, and that will be a response, and that will fix the relationships, that will make the relationships beautiful. So we have to check whether we are reacting to something or responding to something. And again, we have to understand and remove the false beliefs inside us. Sometimes we believe that I may not be able to do this, I may not be able to do this, and I can't achieve this. Sometimes we get defeated by our own belief systems. So I'll share a quick example here. So a person was just passing by a place where elephants are being trained, and this person sees a big elephant there, but it was tied with to only one leg with a short rope, with one or to only one leg. So this person was very curious. This big elephant is so strong. How can it be held with such a short rope? So he goes and asks the person who is training the elephants, how come this is not escaping? You just tied it with only short rope to one pillar, one foot only. He says that when the elephant was young, I tied it with this short rope. It couldn't get away from that. It was not able to escape at that time. But as it grew older, it just got conditioned that I cannot get rid of this rope and I cannot escape. It got conditioned like that, even though that rope is very short and very weak in front of that big elephant. So we always have to check what are our beliefs, and we have to make sure our belief systems are right, which is that I can achieve whatever I want to. Nothing can stop me if I have a good will and good goal. Nothing can stop me. So we have to give some time and choose right choices, that I can do it, not like I cannot do it. We have to make a choice that I can do it. And other things we can check here are whether it is charging us or discharging us. Like a quick example of being on the social media, if I ask anybody, all of us will say being on the social media for a very long time is very much harmful for us. It will be discharging our mind, it will be discharging our body energy and everything. It will decrease our productivity, everybody will agree. But it so happens that a lot of us are so much used to be on it for so long time. So we have to give a little pause and check whatever actions we are performing, are they charging us or discharging us? And harmful or beneficial, we can look at every stage, starting from our food habits to habits like that can that are good for our emotional health or harmful for our emotional health. A lot of times we make good choices for eating good food, organic food and raw vegetables, vegetable food. We make choices, but we also have to look what food is good for my mind. The food that I'm taking, the negativity that I'm taking, is harmful for me or beneficial for me. We have to check that. And sometimes for some, if they have addictions or something, they should also check at a higher consciousness level that is it good for me or is it bad for me? What am I achieving from it? So if we take a minute and ask ourselves and stay in that higher consciousness awareness, we can choose right also. So we have been talking about the higher consciousness and the lower consciousness, and we knew that higher consciousness means thinking with the awareness that I am this living energy, this soul, the master of this physical body, full of all the qualities, right? So how do we put into practice that knowledge we have, but how do we put that knowledge into practice? How do we get those values into our day-to-day activities? So for that, we need the third eye to think and see the things with the higher consciousness. And the third eye, we don't want to think like if we do a lot of years of meditation, if we do a lot of tapasya, then only we get the third eye. No, we all have the third eye of knowledge of our true self. We just have to keep it open and see the things with that third eye, and it will be helpful for us. So the third eye is the intellect of the soul that helps us understand the things, discern the things, and decide in between the choices. It also gives us the realization and willingness to change the old habits and negative personality characteristics. So if we just don't give enough time and see things with this third eye of knowledge, we don't know what are our old habits, what are our negative personality characteristics that are obstructing us in achieving the success or in getting the new habits. So this third eye of intellect is very important to function at a higher consciousness level. So we'll see how the third eye can help. Again, it's not like we achieve it only after practicing a lot of meditation, but this is the starting step. We just have to keep it open and then try doing things. So we can look into some of our day-to-day things, the scopes that we use in our day-to-day things, and we can correlate how our eye of intellect helps us in relation to these kind of scopes, so we can better understand and use it in our daily life. So if we take a telescope, we see things very far away also from that telescope very clearly. So with the telescopic vision, we will know the three aspects of time. How do we know that? So if we keep our eye of intellect open and we know that our every thought, our every word, our every action is like a seed. Will be giving a fruit in the future. If we look with that vision, then I make very consciously, very pure, elevated, peaceful, only the thoughts that give me success. So the third eye opening means keeping the third eye open means looking at three aspects of the time. And in a microscope, when you put the little slide, we don't even see anything on the slide, but when you put in the microscope, it will show all different kinds of germs what are causing the disease in that particular person. So if we have this microscopic vision, we can find our own negativities inside us. Why are we getting angry? Is it because of expectation, or is it because of fear of losing something? What is the root cause of my negative emotion? We can find that out if we have this kind of vision for ourselves. And a stethoscope, it will help us to listen to the inner vibrations of the heartbeat and the sounds in the lungs. Silently we have to hear, right? If somebody makes a noise when we put stethoscope, we hear that noise only. We can't hear the inside heartbeat and the lungs. So we have to keep a little bit silence for ourselves and feel the vibrations of ourself, others, and the situation. Then we come into the situation or action, we can function better. And a periscope, it is like an instrument that helps to see what is all out there. It's like in the submarine, they can see what all is going on outside with the help of this. So with this type of vision, we go inwards and sit in that state of that I am a master of this physical body. I am performing all the actions as a master with all the powers of peace and calmness inside me, and I come and look out what is going on. I react to the situations in much better, calmer way. And a kaleidoscope, we all know, right? We all used to play in our childhood. It looks like a very chaotic pieces and bits of glass pieces that are broken. But if you turn it in a particular way, beautiful pictures we see from that. So in life also, sometimes in the process of achieving our goals and success, sometimes we may feel that there is some obstacle, there's something that's not going in the right way what we want. But if we keep this type of vision in our mind, then we will understand that all these bits and pieces will together will definitely make a beautiful, successful ending for that. So we can use our intellect eye in all these types of vision. And we learned the power of choice, and we have to remember that we have this only at this present moment. We don't have this power of choice. What happened in the past and what will happen in the future, we don't know. But what we know is the power of choice, of choosing right or thinking wise, thinking right, is there only at this present moment. So I don't want to think what happened in the past, what's going to happen in the future, because I know what I do now is what is going to happen in the future. So I have this choice only now. So destiny is not a matter of chance, but it's a matter of choice. So we always have to remember that the power of choice I have, but I can use it only in the present moment. So I can use only when I have it. So we have to keep that in our mind always. And we learned that third eye we need to keep that third eye open to see ourselves, the true inside being full of qualities. We need that. Similarly, we need an invisible third ear also to listen to our inner voice, inner conscience. So here it says the intuition is the inner tuition you get when you spend some time in silence. So that's why silence and spending some time for ourselves with our own self is very, very important, because that's when we go inwards to our true self, the inner being, the higher consciousness, and then that tells us what to do. That intuition is the one that guides us. So that inner tuition we get in silence. So we have to make sure we spend some time in silence. So knowing all these things, let's say we get stuck in this process and we get stuck and we can't think at that higher consciousness level, we can ask one simple question to get tuned back into our higher consciousness, and that is, what is my purpose in this life? Just one simple question if we ask, we get to the bottom of it, that we all have one purpose: to stay peaceful, happy, and to make everybody else happy and peaceful. And that brings us back to our higher consciousness and see things, do things at that higher consciousness level. And finally, to summarize, you might have heard, some of you might have heard this, karma and dharma. The words karma is action, dharma, actually there's no true translation, but if we take the word religion, the religion is the peace. It's not of any physical religion, but our dharma is peace, happiness, abundance, truth, and power. And if I use these things in our actions, in my actions, without any doubt, I'll become successful. So when karma and dharma are aligned, I'll definitely be successful. So we have to give that time to let our inner wisdom guide our every moment. And we did right thinking, we chose right, and we practiced everything that we have to do in a right way, everything. But one last thing we also have to do is to let the things take their own course. So success or victory depends on as much I'm doing the task with the right intention as it does and allowing the things to take their own course. So we have to go with the flow. And wisdom is the awareness of this balance. And we need a lot of faith in this. So faith says, plant the right seeds, make the right effort, but also let things be. Because whatever is going to happen after the right seed, right effort, it is definitely to strengthen me, definitely to make me stronger, to give me better results, to make me fly better. So in that point, if something is obstructing or if something, a little delay is there in achieving the success, we have to keep our courage, because one step of courage, one step forward with courage, we will get 1,000 steps of help from the God, the divine energy. So it is at that time we will know how successful we are, accepting that success or accepting that little delay or failure in that process of getting successful, we will know. So determination and perseverance are two things that we really need at that point. And here it says, if the size of your courage is double than the trouble, then the trouble will become a water bubble, because in front of our strength, the courage, the trouble can't stay, because we have the divine energies, thousands steps forward help, and then our courage, so the trouble can't stay longer. So diamonds are created under intense pressure and heat. So we can't be getting afraid of the pressure and heat. And gold shines only when it is in the heat. So we have to keep our courage with us. And to do all these things, we have to remember only one thing, that the solution is inside us only. Always look inwards for the solution, because the pool of energy, the source of energy is inside us. To do that, meditation helps us to have a focused silence. It is not just simple silence without the noise outside, but it is the focused silence, the introversion, to recognize our strength, to gather our inner resources, to use them in the outer world. So if we know the balance of introversion and extroversion, we will be on our best version. So we have to know that balance of introversion and extroversion, because we have to come out into the field of action to do the actions. We can't be just out there in the action field, and we can't be just inside ourselves. We have to gather all our resources and inner strength and function very well in the outer field of action. So then we'll be in our best version. So meditation really helps in that process. So at BRAHMAKUMARIS, we learn Raj Yoga meditation. So to be in higher consciousness, we must connect to the highest on high, the divine energy, God, the Supreme Parent. So the inner light is us, the soul, but we have to connect to that higher energy, the divine energy, to keep ourselves in that higher consciousness aware. And very simple steps we can follow is very simply disconnect, connect, and reconnect. Just remember these three words. Disconnect from the external worldly things. For a few moments, we have to disconnect when we practice meditation, disconnect from that external worldly things, then connect to the self, the inner pool of energy, the divine energy controlling this body, and then connect to the supreme energy, the higher energy, God, Supreme Parent, Supreme Light, whatever you want to say. Connect to Him, fill yourself, charge yourself, and then reconnect to your own self. Radiate the energy you received from the divine to your body, nature, and use it in all the interaction. So definitely success will be ours. So to do that, we have to experiment with the right thoughts, with the higher consciousness awareness. and choosing the right formula. Our formula is law of attraction. Whatever you want, you radiate that out first and will definitely come back to us, and then embrace the success. So when we practice meditation, we can experiment, experience that, and we get empowered. So I want you to all practice meditation and this creating thoughts at the higher consciousness level, choosing the right formula, and I wish success for everybody. And one small thing we can start doing in this is we can start practicing every day in the morning, starting from the morning. Here it says, my fortune is my final product. Thinking and acting is my process, and information is the raw material. So what we provide to ourselves every day in the morning to begin the day is very important. So I'm just giving a few examples of thoughts you can make in the morning when you first wake up, but it can be anything what you want. But we can do this. I am a pure, peaceful, loveful being. I am a child of the divine. I am under the canopy of the divine parent. I am a very blessed soul. So as soon as I say I'm a very blessed soul, the blessing starts coming from the universe also, because I created that energy, I radiated that energy. Everything will be perfect and beneficial for me. I am successful in whatever I do. Success is my birthright. So we can give these positive, pure thoughts to ourselves as soon as we wake up in the morning. That will fill all our day with these kind of thoughts. So quick introduction about our organization, BRAHMAKUMARIS World Spiritual Organization. It's a non-profit organization. We have over 1 million practicing members worldwide. We have a global presence in 130 countries with more than 8,000 centers. And our motto is to share the spiritual knowledge that enables the self-transformation and world renewal, and to cultivate a deep collective consciousness of peace and individual dignity of each being. So always the focus is on the self-transformation and then the world transformation. It helps individuals transform their perspective of the world from material to spiritual. And the local chapter in Silicon Valley we have, it is led by our sister Kusum Kejriwal, the director of our center. And she's practicing meditation since her childhood and surrendered her life for godly service for the last 38 years. And she's a very, very approachable, very good teacher for all of us, and she's always there for us to guide in whatever way we want. And we offer free Raj Yoga meditation courses, seminars, and now in this lockdown, the webinars, kids classes, living value classes, parenting classes, and silence retreats. And we have every day 200 regular students who attend the Murli classes and meditation also. And we are located at 540 South Street, Milpitas. And the website is here, and everything is in our website, what courses we offer, our calendar and new student resources, everything is there, and everything is posted in the chat window also of the following events. And we do not charge anything, but contributions from whoever got benefit are welcome, and they are tax deductible. So right now, because of the lockdown, the center is not open for in-person, but we have a lot of classes going on, online courses and classes going on. Everything is in our website also. Coming Saturday, we have a webinar on Be Light and Be a Light. And then the next Saturday, Art of Happy Living is there. And we have courses in English, Hindi, Gujarati. We have daily courses, and we also have courses over the weekends also, whichever helps for you. And we have a meditation that's going to start from October 7:30 to 8 p.m. Daily spiritual vitamins, live meditation to get the daily charging that we need for our mind. And you can register for all these events at svbrahmakumaris.org/register, and everything is in the chat window also. And it's time for us to think wise, choose right, and embrace success. And I wish everybody success. Sorry, I took a little bit longer. Thank you for all your attention. And if you have any questions, you could message in the chat window and we'll take a few questions.
Thank you, Rajni Ban, for such a creative seminar. We do have one question. It's by Brother Naren. He's saying that thinking someone as a person with name or without name as Atma, is it the same thing? And how can we get detached from anything as name or Atma?
Yeah, so it is very different thinking somebody as a person with a name and as a soul, because as you said, brother, like when you attach a name to a person, to a soul, then we start thinking of their qualities, of weaknesses and other characteristics. But when you think ourselves as a soul and the other one is also a soul playing this role, this particular role they are playing, but they are a soul also, unique soul. As myself, a unique soul, a peaceful soul, pure soul, the other person is also a soul, unique soul playing a unique role. Then we see only the qualities of the soul, the purity or bliss or happiness we see. Otherwise, there is a chance of seeing the weaknesses also. So we have to practice seeing that as a soul. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you, sister. Another question is, how can we trigger third eye in our normal lives? And this is by Brother Sunil.
Sorry, it got disconnected in the end.
Yeah, how can we trigger third eye in our normal lives?
Yeah, so triggering the third eye or opening the third eye is like just having a knowledge. Very simply, we have to say when we are kids, if we have a question or if we have anything doubt, if we have something wrong with our results or something in the exams, we go to our parents right away and they see everything like very far. They'll see it's okay if this exam is done, you have a lot to do later. They see in a very broader vision, this is not the end of it, like, and they give the advice, right? So similarly, whenever we have a question or anything for ourselves, we just go inwards and look into that inner energy. That's all we have to do. That is getting our third eye awake. Look inwards and know that you are a soul. You are that energy that is performing all your actions from this physical body. You are beyond this role, the name, form, or religion. You are that energy. Just having that, remembering that thing itself is opening the third eye. And that's why we went through those examples of, like, if we remember like a telescopic vision, immediately we'll remember that, you know, whatever action I perform, thought I make, it will have a consequence in the future. So I will make a good thought. Microscopic vision, we said, like, we know our own negativity, so we can get over that. So having that knowledge means, remembering that means awakening or triggering that third eye. And to do that, the silence and the meditation is what helps.
Okay, sister, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much. That will be all.
Okay.
Thank you. And we are getting a lot of comments, sister. Everyone enjoyed the seminar a lot.
Okay.
Thank you.